This is a homeless couple. They are on their way home. I first encountered them in early February 2013 while I was filming at the Juan Diego Center in El Monte. As I was filming, the couple came down the driveway to the back door entrance. They were clearly homeless. The woman had a bicycle with bags of stuff hanging from the handlebar. The bike had a baby carrier that was jammed with more stuff. The man was pushing a shopping cart loaded with all their things. He was wearing rollerblades. I later found out he had no shoes. They wore tattered clothes and looked as if they had not washed in some time. The man stayed outside guarding their stuff as the woman entered the center looking for food and clothing. Ann Rotanowski, the case manager who works out of Bronson House in East LA, was there for a meeting. The place was so busy, Ann ended up talking with the homeless woman, whose name was Monica. Monica wanted to know where she could go for a shower. Ann provided her with the name of a shelter and the hours of operation. The shelter was a bit of a distance from El Monte, and so Ann gave her a bus voucher. The woman spoke of the indignity of some of the shelters, including the lack of privacy. Monica seemed desperate for someplace warm and dry to stay. Unfortunately, Ann could not offer any immediate help, as Catholic Charities had no motel vouchers available. Monica said she was starving. Ann gave her some bread and food. She and the man quickly devoured some of the bread. I decided to speak with them. His name was Juan. I asked them where they stayed at night. Juan said, "Our roof is the freeway." They lived under an overpass of the Interstate 10 freeway, about 10 miles east of downtown Los Angeles. I asked them if I could film them where they live, to hang out with them for a bit and really see the harshness of their life. They said sure. Listening to their story was heart-wrenching. It's hard to keep filming people in dire straits and not be able to do something. Somewhat impulsively, I told Monica and Juan that I wanted to personally help them by getting them a room at a nearby motel so they could at least have one peaceful night of rest. You would have thought I was offering them $1 million. Once I had them checked in, we stood in the parking lot and spoke for another 20 minutes. We spoke about God, life on the streets, their desire to change their circumstances. Monica said, "I'm a good person, but life is just so harsh." We agreed to meet 2 days later at a burger place near the freeway. When I arrived, Juan and Monica were there waiting for me. I was happy to see them. I asked them if they wanted something to eat. Monica said they were very hungry. I got them each a sandwich. Before unwrapping his sandwich, Juan paused for a moment as he placed his hands on the sandwich, closed his eyes, and offered a brief, silent prayer of thanksgiving. After they finished their meal, I followed them to the freeway underpass where they lived.
Welcome to the disaster. It's like, every piece of thing that's on the floor is like a problem or something that is just sitting there waiting for me to either figure out or resolve. Basically in my head, and it comes up every now and then. And it's very disorganized. It's a disaster.
Is this all your stuff?
No, it's not. I didn't throw it in the trash, so. We hit our heads quite a bit on the freeway.
Yeah, I've hit my head 3 times already. So, how long have you been living here?
4 months. About 4 months.
4 months.
Yes. It's very cold at night.
Are there rats?
Yes, there is.
How do you handle toilet things?
Bucket, plastic bags, and dispose of it. Food is hard to keep because of the fact that we don't have, you know, refrigeration, and neither of us have a job right now except for recycling, and that is pretty much gambling because we don't know how many people are going to throw away cans or not. I only buy from Macy's, by the way. My clothes are all from Macy's. No. It's better to live underneath the freeway than on top of the freeway. I would laugh when things were just too much, and he would get mad at me and say, "I don't understand something. Why are you laughing at me?" And I would be like, "No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at myself because of, you know, the mistake I've done." He goes, "But that's something serious. Why are you laughing about it?" I said, "Because it comes to a point in your life where you have to laugh things off. You just have to, because when there's absolutely nothing else you can do about it but let it be, then why not make a joke out of it and laugh, you know? As long as somebody else's feelings not at stake."
What would you like people that would watch this, who we're trying to get to help?
Love their families more. Don't let this happen to a family member. And at any problem that a family member has, unless they're stealing it from them or something like that, which the person needs real big time help. I never would steal from my mother or any person that I know. I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody else either, but it's wrong, and it makes the person not trust the other person that much more. But love your family and do whatever you can. If they're on drugs or alcohol or anything like that, help them through it. Be there for them. Don't criticize them, don't judge them, because you never know what that person has been through, and everybody's mind is different, and God says not to judge people. And it's written that way in the Bible, and I truly believe that, because it feels bad when somebody does it, and usually they're wrong, because they're not God. You know, and nobody's better than the other. So I think people should have more love and unity, more patience on the street, and not go so fast in their cars, because when you're riding a bicycle or walking, people tend to almost want to run you over. And everybody just needs to slow down and be more kind to humanity.
Do you get scared at night?
Yes, and when I do, I pray. And I say Psalms 121 that I know by heart. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper, the Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore.
For the homeless on the streets of Los Angeles, life is brutally hard, as they struggle every day with isolation, rejection, loneliness, fatigue, boredom, hunger, their own failure, and a host of psychological and medical issues. Monica's downward spiral began with domestic abuse when she was younger. She was clearly still struggling with some unresolved issues. She knows she needs counseling, but has avoided it because she wants to protect her privacy. But she told me she needs to do it. She needs to change. She said she and Juan were lucky because they had each other. They've been together for 7 years, and they want to get married. Monica is 42 years old. Her fingers are stained with nicotine. She picks up cigarette butts from the street. Among other medical issues, she's infected with parasites. Juan, who is 40, is an undocumented migrant. He once attended a community college in Texas in order to learn English. Monica and Juan have been homeless for 7 months. She had a job, but the business went belly up and closed. She and Juan spend their days rummaging through trash, looking for any recyclable items they can sell. During my first visit to their freeway home, Monica shared some of the story of her past. Her father was a soldier stationed near San Diego. Her mother was Hispanic. When her mother became pregnant with Monica, they married. The hasty marriage lasted only a year. The father moved to the East Coast, where he became a policeman. They both remarried. When Monica was 4 years old, the stepfather began to sexually molest her. In order to protect Monica, the mother shipped her back east to live with her father, whom Monica never met before moving in with him. Her stepmother never really accepted Monica and treated her very badly. After 6 months, Monica was shipped back to her mother. It was clear how Monica's formative years have haunted her life and left her deeply scarred. When you really listen to the homeless, it's stunning to learn how often a person's early life marks them for life. When someone is born in situations like Monica's, it's very hard for them to overcome such abuse and lift themselves out of it. It's easy to harshly judge or look away from a homeless person, but if you actually do look at them and listen to them, you begin to understand how they ended up on the streets. You can't judge a person like Monica. We're all called to be God's loving hands, extending to her generous amounts of mercy and compassion. For the next few days, Monica and Juan weighed heavily on my heart. After consulting with 3 good friends, I decided to try to do something to rescue Monica and Juan from their desperate situation. On Saturday, February 9th at 3:30 in the morning, I wrote an email to a few dozen people telling them that I wanted to provide the couple with a 1-month stay at the motel. To do so, I needed 30 people to donate $55 each. By noon, I had pledges covering 22 nights of warm, safe lodging for Monica and Juan. Within days, my humble ministry had raised enough money to provide the couple with 40 nights of housing. Donations came from New York, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, California, and even Lima, Peru. My pitch on behalf of the couple was simple. There can be no recovery of any kind if the person does not have safe, secure housing. A person in recovery needs 3 essential ingredients: a place to live, a job, and regular access to counseling. But it all begins with housing. Without housing, recovery is virtually impossible. And you need to house a person before he or she is clean of drugs, or is on medication for their physical or mental illnesses, or has their life straightened out. I wanted to help give Monica and Juan the first leg, housing, even if only on a short-term basis. I felt a sense of urgency about this because studies indicate homelessness has a very detrimental impact on people. If a person is homeless for 18 months, they become like animals, and it is virtually impossible to reverse their situation. If a person has been homeless for less than 6 months, rehabilitation has an excellent chance of working and sticking. In essence, the longer a person is homeless, the harder it is to recover. I did not see any signs that their situation was not reversible if they got off the streets quickly. When I called Monica and Juan and told her I'd be getting her and Juan a month of lodging at the motel, she screamed and cried tears of joy. No one has ever done anything so wonderful for us. As I drove them to the motel, I essentially told them that the month of free housing was a gift that would give them a chance to turn their lives around. I told them they were basically accountable only to themselves because there was no official oversight. I also said the Catholic Charities office in El Monte will be there for them in the form of basic food and counseling. I visited Monica and Juan at least once a week. I encouraged them and tried to counsel them. Each week I gave them about $200 in cash for food and other essentials. In an effort to make it easier to contact them and to help them find work, I got them the most basic cell phone I could find, along with the cheapest monthly plan possible. After 5 weeks of all of us riding a roller coaster of emotions, Juan called to say, "Jerry, I got a job. I start Monday morning at 7:30. He could not contain his excitement. And Monica was equally thrilled to tell me she received her ID from the Department of Motor Vehicles. Catholic Charities is providing Juan with bus vouchers to get to work, and they are investigating possible housing options for them.
Thank you so much to those people that are doing this for us. Because
Thank you. Thank you.
If my heart, you can see my heart, you would know how much I appreciate this.
Of course, it's far too early to know how Monica and Juan will fare in the long term. But for now, things are looking much brighter. They know some people care about them and stood with them when they hit rock bottom and offered them a hand to help them get back on their feet. God is good. Resurrection is a reality.